this is Wendy Cranford with Love and Stampin' Up, and I am going to show you an emboss resisting technique using this sunflower stamp. I really like this sunflower stamp, and I made this card using it, and so my upline, Patty Bennett, has challenged us to use a new technique, so I'm going to try it with this stamp. So this is the sunflower stamp, and it comes on this big wooden block, and I really enjoy playing with this stamp, and it's a beautiful decoration for my room as well. So I'm going to turn the stamp itself over with the rubber facing up, and I'm using a Versamark watermark stamp pad, and I'm going to take the stamp pad and go all over the sunflower like so. Get it nice and wet, and then I'm taking a piece of very vanilla cardstock on just a junky old piece of paper, and I'm just going to put this down and stamp it. Now you can't see where I've stamped because this is clear. You can kind of see a sheen on the paper. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to set this piece of cardstock inside my black tray. This is a Powder Pal Buddy, and this is actually a retiring product, which I'm very sad about, actually. I really love this item. Then I'm taking black embossing powder, and I'm just going to very liberally pour it all over this stamp. I actually just emptied out the container here, and I'm going to just move all of it around until I have nothing but the image like so. Now I'm going to use this, and I'll use the funnel right here to pour it back into my container. But I'll go ahead and do that later, and there's no need to take up your time doing that. So, just blown it off a couple of times, and you want to make sure that you get any embossing powder that you don't want to stick on this paper off, because it will, once this is heated up, it will stick. So if you've got little dots of it in other places, it's going to stick. So now I'm going to take my heat gun, and I'm going to go ahead and heat up my embossing powder and get this all stuck down. So this is the heat gun, and it has this handy little kickstand so you can set it down. And this gets very hot, so you just want to be careful when you're using it. Okay? Okay, everybody, I'm back. As you can see, it's all embossed, and it's shiny, and that's how you know that the embossing powder is adhered and embossed, is it'll have that glow. Before it's embossed, it's very dull. So you just have to run the heat gun over it until it's embossed, and it's just this very soft, shiny gloss that's on there now. So now I'm going to use more mustard stamp pad, and I'm going to use a sponge with my more mustard tab on it, which I have not used this sponge yet, so it's dry, so I'm going to have to get quite a bit of ink on there. And this is the technique. It's actually not embossed. The embossing, it wasn't the technique. The technique is what I'm about to do, which is called emboss resisting, which means everywhere that is embossed will not absorb this ink. Only the paper will absorb this ink. So I'm just going to start in the middle, and I'm just going to work all the way around like so until I get to the outer edges. So now you see I've got this beautiful glow about this image and throughout the sunflower. And I just love this. I love how it's turning out. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead quickly and go off camera, and I'm going to just cut this out. So it's going to be a very tedious process, one which you do not need to, not necessary for you to have to watch the whole process. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, everybody, I'm back, and I finished cutting out my sunflower, and I cut in between all of the little petals so that it would be separated. And I'm just going to throw together a card that I had an idea for. So I cut a piece of basic black cardstock at 10 inches by 5 inches, and I folded it in half so it would make a 5 by 5 card. And then I cut a piece of very vanilla cardstock at 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my more mustard ink or sponge, and I'm going to ink the edges of this piece of cardstock real quick, just to give it a little definition. Okay, and I'm going to adhere, well, excuse me, I'm not going to adhere that down yet. I'm going to put this sunflower right in the middle, and I'm going to adhere it using an antique brad. So these are antique brads. I'll hold them up here close. They come in several different styles. I really love these brads. I think they're beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and use this dark one that kind of looks like a flower itself. I'm going to use my paper piercing tool, and you see I've centered my sunflower here on top of this piece of very vanilla cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and pierce right through the center of my sunflower and my very vanilla, like so. And then I'm going to put my brad through, and I'm going to go ahead and close that. So now it's stuck to this, but it's still coming up from the paper, like so. And then I'm just going to take, I actually need to open a new snail adhesive. Okay, I'm going to take a snail adhesive and just adhere this down to this piece of cardstock. And that's it. That's my emboss resist technique, and my sunflower adhered to a card. And this is the other card that I made, and this is not using the emboss resist technique. I really like how this turned out, and I could see playing with it and doing lots and lots of different things with it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and many more to come. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.